I'm gonna tell you everything about mean, median, mode and standard deviation that you need to know in order to prepare for SAT Math. Let's get started. So mean is actually nothing but the average value. So if you have a data, if you have a data, if you have a data and it has some values, for example x1, x2, x3, x4, so on up to xn, and you need to find out the mean of this data. So what you'll do is, in order to find out mean, you're going to add up all of these values. So x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus blah 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 plus xn, and you will divide it by number of values. So here we have n values, so we will divide it by n. Okay, then median. Median is given by the centralmost value. So if you arrange your data in ascending order, this is really important. This is like the most important step. First things first, you need to arrange your data in ascending order. It also means in increasing order. And then the value which is exactly in the middle, well, that's gonna be your median. And now any normal person would have this question that, Miss Frenda, what if we have even number of values? So what if we have this data 1, 2, 3, 4? There are 4 values, so I cannot find out the middlemost value. Well, in that case, what you need to do is the median is gonna be the mean of the 2 centralmost values. So in this case, in order to find out the median, you're going to take the average of the 2 central values. So that's your median. And then your mode is the highest frequency number. So the data point which is occurring for the most number of times is your mode. The value which is occurring the maximum number of times. Now these three things, if I can call them things, mean, median and mode, why are these important? These are important because they actually represent your entire data. They are also called the measures of central tendency. So these are those values to which your data is tending. Okay, these values will actually give you a fair representation of your data. Now obviously in some cases mean would be better, in some cases median would be better, and in some cases mode would be better. But the point is that you're not going to get a question as simple as just finding out the mean of the data or find out median of the data or mode of the data. No, you're not going to get a simple question like that. You're going to get very tricky questions. So the point is that you need to practice, you need to do as much practice as possible. You need to practice all different types of questions, different types of practice problems, how a question can be formed in 10 different ways. And that's what we do at A+ Calculus. I have analyzed hundreds of question papers, if not hundreds of SAT Math question papers, and I know that how a question can be modified, how the SAT Math people tweak and twist the questions. They do not draft They do not create entirely new questions, they just recycle and reuse the previous questions, the older questions. They will just change the language, just change the words here and there, but I know how the questions are formed. So the point is that you need to practice as much questions as possible. Now finally, standard deviation. Standard deviation represents the spread in your data. Standard deviation that how much your data is spread apart. Okay, so in order to find out your standard deviation, what your standard deviation is nothing but just it's the square root of variance. Now you'll ask, what is variance? So your variance is given by d square, it's d square, and you can find that out by taking the difference of each data point from your mean value. So I'm doing x1 minus m, where m is the mean, then x2 minus m. So you'll take the difference of all the points from the mean, and you're gonna square those differences, and you're gonna add all the results. Then you're gonna divide that result by number of data points, and then this is gonna be your variance. This is your variance. And in order to find out the standard deviation, you will take its square root. So just take its square root. That's your standard deviation. So as I said before, that just by knowing the concepts, just by watching these videos, do not think that now you can now you can perform well on the SAT math, but you need to do a lot of practice. You need to cover different types of problems which can be asked on these concepts. So yes, the more you practice, the more are your chances of getting 700 plus on SAT math. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.